Everybody in your elementary or high school student seems a little bit on edge this week. There is a reason.
Yeah, high-stakes standardized exams, the kind that lead to those A to F school rating report cards and have a role in teachers' jobs and students' futures. But critics say those tests may be doing more harm than good. Local 12's Jeff Hirsch is in the newsroom with the story of those who say the testing mania deserves a very low grade, right, Jeff?
Oh, that's what they say. Drill and kill, teaching to the test. Just a waste of valuable class time. That's what the critics say. And some local school leaders say that while certainly some testing is absolutely necessary, what's happening now is absolute overkill. Here at Glen Estey Middle School and at schools across Ohio, it's time for standardized statewide tests. English and math, science and social studies. But the superintendent of the 8,000 student West Clermont district says there are simply too many of these exams.
And I look at 20 days out of a school year where our schedules are going to have to be changed to accommodate this overreach on testing is problematic. We need to be teaching kids.
Klein posted a message on the West Clermont website which says, quote, "Our students and teachers are beyond the breaking point as a result of the overemphasis on high-stakes tests and accountability measures." Klein calls for no more than one state test per grade per year, as well as other changes.
When we're talking about, though, taking tests in February and May of 2015 and not getting results back into November of this year, kind of makes me wonder why we're doing the testing the way that we're doing it. Those results coming back in November aren't going to be very helpful in informing instruction, especially when you think we get those results back in November and then we're back into a testing cycle the following February.
There are similar sentiments from the Sycamore superintendent, Adrian James. In a letter to the state superintendent of schools, James calls for fewer state tests as well. Quote, "The public school system has been jerked from one notion to another, and sadly, bearing the brunt of it all are our children." The critics are not opposed to tests nor to tougher new standards, far from it. But they want locally designed diagnostic tests aimed at getting quick answers on what kids need, not a grand mandate to rank schools.
The new standards themselves are fine, and they're going to help us get better. The assessments that have been layered on in mass and in multiple topics every year, every grade, has really pushed us away from the time that we need to be spending on teaching and learning.
And there's also a small but growing nationwide movement for parents to have their children opt out of the standardized tests, simply refuse to take them. This is Education Week, kind of the Bible of schools. And this says Activists Learn Art of Test Refusal. That was a conference in Florida, so it's kind of a nationwide movement. And in his letter to parents, the West Clermont superintendent says there are consequences to opting out, and it would be better to work within the system to try to change things. Among potential consequences for opting out in Ohio, that includes third graders possibly being left back a grade, or high schoolers not graduating on time. Back to you.
An interesting debate.
Yep,
Jeff,
absolutely.
thank you. The groundswell of criticism about excessive testing is being heard in Columbus. The state superintendent of public instruction is asking the legislature to reduce mandated statewide testing hours by about 20%. If you'd like to see that plan, as well as the West Clermont and Sycamore letters calling for change, just go to local12.com and click on the red Get It button.